You know what time it is. Do ya? Do I? It's 11:11. Happy Saturday. I'm feeling groggy-faced. Not quite bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and groggy-faced. Fuzzy-eyed, especially without my glasses. But I am here to do a little shaking things off, a little movement, a little stretching, a little strengthening. And I invite you to join me if you feel like it. Getting ready to get some work done today. I didn't go snowboarding even though all my gear is out. My car is not cooperating, so car work and roof work it is once again. But first, these important messages. Stretching, strengthening, smiling and breathing. I'm going to take a couple breaths, bring my awareness into the bottoms of my feet. Root myself into the earth. Hang myself from the sky. Let's do a slow roll down. Check in with the spine. Coming down past the waist to the hips. And just hanging here for a breath or two. Getting some tension out, some stiffness. Letting go of some stiffness. Shake that out a little bit. Let's roll back up nice and slow. Stacking one vertebra on the next. Let's do some big arm circles. Keeping it nice and mellow. It's a full moon. Hope you're enjoying the Hallows Eve vibe in whatever way you like to enjoy it. Bend the knees and go the other way with my big circles. Let's do some more arm stretching, pulling the left arm across the body, dropping that shoulder, tilting the head away. Got a lot of stiffness going on this morning, so I'm just trying to be gentle with myself. Bringing the right arm across, dropping that shoulder, tipping the head away. Let's do that again. Left arm across, dropping the shoulder, tipping the head away. Swinging that arm, bringing the right arm across, dropping shoulder and tilting the head away. I'm going to bring arms behind back, pulling shoulders together, elbows together, pressing palms. Let's do a little slight back bend first, and then forward from the hips, relatively straight back. Just working out the stiffness a little bit through the shoulders and the chest. I'm going to lift up, pushing through the feet, coming up with a relatively straight back and then into that counter stretch again. Shake that out a bit. Shake it off, shake it out. It's important to let go of stress routinely, just like we brush our teeth and wash our feet and other parts of the body. It's important to wash the mind, let go of clutter, let go of negative thoughts and feelings, and make room for the new day. I'm stepping back with the left foot first, as usual, and pulling this back hip forward, forward hip back, tilting the pelvis a little bit. Just sinking into that for a breath or so, pushing that heel down, checking that the front knee is not past the toes to keep that knee safe. And I'm going to bring hands up, checking to not crunch up in the shoulders. Let's push onto the diagonal, sliding that back heel out just a little bit more. pushing through the heel, through the spine, out the fingers. Then I'm going to open the hip, pushing that, bringing that heel forward a little bit onto the perpendicular line, and opening these hips, looking for this side plane here. I'm going to slide that leg out a little further and come into a side triangle, using my right arm and leg against each other for torque. Bringing this left arm up to gaze past fingertips. I'm going to bring that around, reach for the opposite thigh for a little increased twist. And then unwind that. Bring that on the inside of the right leg, coming up onto the left toes. I think this is called a lizard pose or something like it. I could scooch back just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring that front foot forward to meet the back foot, pushing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone, pressing into both heels. Swing the body forward, bringing the chest through the shoulders, keeping the elbows in close, letting the belly drop, bringing the feet together. And then lifting those hips again, pushing back through the palms, into the heels. Swinging that left foot forward into a nice deep lunge on that side. And then stepping forward with the back foot, back into a forward fold, just hanging here for a breath or so. Letting the belly release, letting the low back release. I'm going to bend the knees and swing the arms back, coming into that back bend a little bit, pushing the hips forward, gazing up past those fingertips. Come back into neutral. Shake it out a little bit, and then I'm going to step back with the other foot on the right side. Again, pulling the hips into a perpendicular line by pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back, tipping the pelvis a little bit for a nice long strong line through the abdomen and spine, pressing into that back heel, checking that the knee isn't crunching past the toes, and lifting the arms, making sure not to crunch up in the shoulders. And then I'm going to push onto that diagonal line a little bit from the hips, still trying to pull that back hip forward, forward hip back. Out the heel, through the spine, out the fingertips. And then shifting that back heel forward a little bit onto the perpendicular line to open these hips. Looking for this side plane here. I'm going to slide that back foot out a little bit, bending from the hip, and come into a twisting side triangle here. Right arm up this time, left arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Gazing past those fingertips, and then I'm going to bring that hand around to reach for this other thigh. Give it a nice little twist. Unwinding all of that and coming down on the inside of that left leg for a lizard pose on this side. And then bringing weight onto both front hands, bringing that front foot back to meet the back foot, pressing through the palms, up the spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, and pressing the heels down into the floor. Let's alternate a little bit, bending the right knee, pushing into the left, bending the left, pushing into the right, and pushing into the left. Pushing into the right, one more time, pushing into the left, just letting those legs unstiffen a little bit, pushing into the right, pushing back through both palms, tipping the tailbone again toward the back of the head, pushing into those heels, and then swinging the body forward, bringing the chest through the shoulders, keeping the elbows in close, letting the belly drop, bringing the legs together. Lifting the hips once again, pushing back through both palms, through the spine, into the heels, and then swinging that right leg forward into a nice deep lunge. In between the hands this time. I like to bounce in the lunge. You can bounce if you feel like bouncing, or don't bounce if you don't like bouncing. It's a matter of preference as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to step forward with that back foot again into a forward fold. Just hang here for a breath or so, letting the spine unwind. Bring hands onto head for a little extra weight. Just increase and encourage that unwinding through the neck and the spine. Let's come for a gentle twist over to the left side, using the arms either on the ground or the leg for a little torque. Little twist, and over to the right side, a little twist. This time I'll put right hand between feet and twist the body up, looking up past the left. Fingers again, giving those organs a little squeeze. And then putting the left hand down in between the feet, bringing up the right for a little twist the other way. And then back central or neutral, just hanging here from the hips. I'm going to bend the knees and swing the arms back, coming into that back bend a little bit, pushing the hips forward, gazing up and back with those hands, and then back to neutral. Shake that out a little bit, make some noise if you feel like it, if you feel free to. It's my, I might have one more morning in my house, and then I have guests for a couple weeks. Let's do some hip sways, because that feels good. Just kind of passively pushing into the left and the right. And then I'm going to plant the feet under the hips and do some hip slides. So changing that from stretching into the hips to stretching more in the abdomen and the low back. Trying to keep these hips parallel to the floor, over to the left and over to the right. Sometimes a little pull down at the end of that, and helps me focus on that parallel line with the hips. Over to the left and over to the right, and one more time, over to the left and over to the right, and then back to center. And I'm going to step these feet out into a wider straddle position, and then dip on the left, raising on the right, or that's the opposite, raising on the left, dipping on the right, and now dipping on the left, raising on the right. Just changing up the stretch. That puts the stretch more on the inner thighs to me. You can see where it puts the stretch for you. I'm actually going to do a forward fold from here while I'm in the straddle position. Folding not from the waist, but from the hips, with a flat back, coming down, using my legs for support, and just kind of pull on the body, gazing behind the body. Let's bring the body over the left leg for a little twist there, and then back through central and over to the right leg, bringing the body over that leg. And back to the center again, using both hands on both legs to help pull the body and really try to relax the belly and just fold from the hips. Then I'm going to bend the knees a little bit and roll the body up, trying to stack one vertebra on the next. Coming back to center, let's walk these feet back under the hips. And again, do a little more pushing into the hip over to the left side. I'm going to bend the right knee or take weight off of that foot and really push into that hip socket. But do be careful that you don't pop your leg right out of the socket. Sometimes mine feels like it wants to do that. So make sure and listen to your own body. Over to the left again and over to the right again. Again, I'm taking weight off of that opposite side, really pushing into each hip. to central. Shake that out a little bit. I was thinking of doing some floor work, but I think I'm just going to keep with my usual balancing act routine. I'm not wearing stretchy pants today, so probably be a little less flexible, which is all good. I'm less flexible in my joints anyhow. Bringing my left knee up toward left shoulder, tipping the tailbone under a little bit, looking for that straight long line through the spine and the abdomen. Relaxing that supporting foot. Let's do some little circles while we're here with the ankles. Foot on ankle. And then I'm going to reach for the bottom of this foot, pulling that knee up even higher. Straightening that leg as much as possible for a nice forward fold in the air and a little balancing, and then I'm going to release with the right, bring that out to the left. Whoa! Just wiggling that around a little bit in the hip socket, exploring range of motion. Thank you for the love. Thankfully, I didn't fall over. Yay! Every day you don't fall over is a good day, right? Let's do just a little strengthening with that by, I'm going to pull with the arm, straightening the leg a little more and getting a little strengthening through this arm, and then release with the arm and let the weight of the leg kind of stretch and pull on the shoulder, and then again alternate that a couple times. So pulling with the arm, and then pulling with the leg. You could even flex the toes if you want to pull a little extra on that. And one more time, pulling with the arm, and then pulling with the leg. And bending that knee, setting that foot on the supporting leg, winging this knee back, still trying to tip in the tailbone or pelvis. Keep a nice, long, straight, sturdy line. I'm going to bring arms up, making sure not to crunch in those shoulders, and imagine myself a strong, chilling tree in the snowy breeze on a mountain. My foot's slipping. I'm going to bring that down. Stomp that out just a little bit, and then bring my weight over to the left side and bring the right knee up toward right shoulder, relaxing the shoulders. Let's do a little ankle rotation on this side with the stiff ankles this morning. One way and then the other way. You can hear my heater still working hard even though it's getting warm again out there, I think. Still trying to make sure and relax that supporting leg. I'm going to reach for the bottom of this foot and bring that out front, as straight as possible. Giving that a breath or so to release, and then letting go with the left hand and bringing that out to the side. And just kind of play with that leg in the hip socket a little bit. Letting that leg release. I was about to say try not to counter lean, but just the thought of leaning sent me almost falling over, huh? Bringing that back up, and I'm going to alternate pulling with the arm a little bit, and then pulling with the leg a little bit to stretch through the shoulder, and then again pulling with the arm, and pulling with the leg. One more time with the arm. It helps to breathe if you can remember to do that, and smile. I'm pulling with the leg again. I'm going to bend this knee and put this foot on the supporting leg rather. Swinging this knee back, tipping the tailbone under. Bringing the arms up overhead to again imagine myself a calm, strong, chilled tree on the calm mountain in the falling quiet snow. Definitely feeling some extra inflammation in the joints today. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. Bringing the shoulders up, breathing in, and then just releasing that. It's just a nice, quick, easy way to release tension. You can do this one through the day real quick. Breathing in, tensing up, putting those shoulders in the ears, and then just letting it go. I like to alternate one elbow and then the other over, and one more time. Tensing up, tensing up, tensing up. And then just breathing out and relaxing. Pretty stiff in the fingers today. That's okay. I love myself anyway. I remind you, you are worthy of your own unconditional love. First, foremost, always and always. So I hope you're loving you. Donald, Bart, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.